Two of the most iconic voices in golf are back to save the day and ready to entertain Kostis and McCord. Off their rockers.
You found us. This is it. This is the most wonderful time of the year. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Peter Kostis, Gary McCord, Mike Abram, your co-host and producer, here to talk a little bit of a gift that golfers get. Tomorrow, we've got the match, the Showdown at Shadow Creek. Rory McIlroy, Scottie Scheffler from the PGA Tour versus LIV's Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. Remember to like, subscribe, and share Kostis and McCord off their rockers with your golf friends. We've got dozens and dozens of great episodes, great stories from Peter and Gary, and incredible instruction from Coach Kostis. And Peter, Gary, little pre-Christmas special right here is
this
LIV versus PGA Tour.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It's something fun for this time of year for golf.
Yeah, it is. When you know, everybody tries these what we used to call silly season deals. We just got done watching the match.
You got done watching it. I didn't watch it.
I watched it.
I didn't watch
it on YouTube. It was extraordinarily weak. That's all I'll say.
I got a hard enough time watching professionally good golfers play golf, but watching
those are all our buddies.
I know they're our buddies, but my God, why would I subject myself to that?
I get it.
Wayne Gretzky, and
but it's just
great guy.
Is it the deal that there's not enough content and they got to throw crap like that on? How much golf content can you take without regurgitating? I mean, are we at that point?
I will tell you this match at Shadow Creek, in my opinion, is going to be a huge litmus test for the future of professional golf. Now,
you think that's why they did it?
Well, I think there's probably a measure of that involved. I think there's lots of reasons why. I think that they're testing the right of PGA Tour players to go off and create their own content without being subjected to the PGA Tour rules and regulations. There's the LIV versus the PGA Tour, 4 great players. There's a lot to like about this match, but I do think it's going to be a litmus test to see what the animosity level is between the sides, and whether that's something that can be a competitive advantage going forward.
Well, I mean, if you're going to produce that thing, you're going to get these two guys talking about the other two guys, strengths and weaknesses and everything else.
You're going to get
your tour against our tour and stuff like that. And there's a reason they're doing this. This is not just came out of the ether out there. Just went, oh, look at this. These guys did this for a reason. And if that reason is to show that you can put something together with the 4 arguably best players there are, representing 2 different leagues. Well, they do that in 24 hours, basically put this thing together with TNT, which is very interesting because now you've got this match everybody would want. And I can't imagine that tour sponsors, title sponsors of all these events, wait a minute, we didn't, wait a minute, we don't get that?
Yeah, we get
everything.
And
the TNT gets to do this, and then they're not part of what's going on here. Anyway, the whole thing is, to me, it's a big pot that's stirring, and it's becoming very, very warm. And if it goes, and if it's good, and if people watch it, and that's, you got to watch the numbers, because this time of the year, the numbers are bad in golf right now. Again, we'll go over it. Across the board, they're 20% down for the units they measure.
Yeah. What day of the week is this?
It's Tuesday night. So it's
Tuesday
Monday
night.
That you're watching this, that we released.
Are they
this on the
putting
16th.
it at night too?
Part of it's at night.
Yeah.
They're bringing in some lights at Shadow Creek. And, a lot of Bryson saying one of the reasons he left for LIV was because he didn't have his rights. And now we know he's become a YouTube sensation, obviously, trying different things. The hole-in-one every day, adding 1 more shot a day over his house. We know Brooks Koepka hasn't really talked about that, but we know those 2 guys would love to have ranking points. We know that the powers that be at LIV, Yasser Al-Rumayyan and his group, Greg Norman, who's on the way out, they'd love to have ranking points. We know that Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour have been speaking and trying to fix something. And now that President Trump's been reelected and taking office, you and I texted each other, Peter, that we saw Yasser and President Trump at the UFC fight a few weeks ago.
You got to give Trump credit. You got to give Trump credit. In the first 24 hours of his presidency, he's going to end the war in Iraq. He's going to end the war in Israel and Gaza, and he's going to bring LIV and the PGA Tour together. Boom, like that. Oh yeah, he's going to fix the border too.
Right.
He's going to all that's
Don't forget tariffs.
And tariffs. He's going to get all that done in 24 hours. That's going to be a hell of a 24 hours. But
I'm tired already.
Make golf great again.
It's intriguing to me that Yasser was with Trump and his entourage at the MMA fights the other night. And then word is that Trump invited Jay Monahan down to play a round of golf in Palm Beach. So he's talking to both sides, trying to figure out, what the possible solutions might be. I honestly think that it was going to take somebody like him, who has a great love for the game of golf, has enough swag that he can get both sides to capitulate whatever needs capitulating, if that's a word, and get some sort of resolution. I don't know.
Yeah, get some kind of resolution. We've been talking about it for way too long, didn't we? When we started this, remember we had the emergency podcast. We had an emergency YouTube episode that said, "Oh my gosh, John Rahm is leaving and going to LIV," and that caused but nothing has really happened then. What do you think? You guys both at your club at Whisper Rock here in Scottsdale hear from a lot of tour players. You got 30 plus tour players that are members over there. Is there anything new? Is there anything different that you're sensing that's going to happen in 2025? And might this showdown at Shadow Creek portend this that's going to happen next year?
In my opinion, I don't hear anything buzzing other than the tour reducing all aspects of getting into it. Okay, now you're hearing the guys that are not, they're definitely now the haves and the have-nots. And the have-nots are now starting to speak up every day, tweeting something on Instagram, something, and they're not happy. So we predicted that. It's the same old deal. Yeah. The guys who are running the tour now are basically the really good players, and they're going to want what really good players want, and that's more money, and the hell of the other guys, and that's where they are right now. So I don't hear much about the unification. I don't hear much about it whatsoever of LIV and the tour. I mean, if you start looking at that, how in the world would you ever regulate? Okay, guys from LIV want to come and play what do you charge them? There's got to be a penalty. You can't just go over there and then come back here and play. That's impossible.
But the SSG has put a bunch of money to those guys now.
DOJ, if you want to look into that, okay, DOJ, are they really give a shit about golf?
That's where Trump comes in, though.
Yeah,
with the deal.
I don't. He and the Department of Justice don't exactly.
Well, it's going to be his Department of Justice.
It's a little different now.
So
it'll take a while. Not right now, but it'll take a while.
And also, I have a hard time thinking that Trump has a good memory. That I do know about him, and the way the tour treated his golf courses and him, the whole golf establishment world, They took away the major championship from New Jersey. They took away Doral. They took away Turnberry out of the rotation in the British Open. Yep. They screwed Trump over big time.
No, he doesn't hold.
And I got a hard time. He's going to be completely neutral, but maybe he will be.
Everybody's going to get fired.
It's going to be an interesting proposition.
By the way, I had a thought. Yeah. I just had a thought.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the showdown at
Shadow Creek.
At Shadow Creek.
Yep.
Okay. Those two against two. Okay? Here's your two announcers. Mickelson on one side and Brandel on the other. And that's the only two guys in the booth. Now that would be entertaining.
Who would come out of that unscathed?
Oh my God, that would be unbelievable to listen to that.
The problem with it is they are both so verbose. that we wouldn't be able to.
The other guys
We would
hit
never.
shots.
We would never be able to hear a golf shot being hit.
Do we have to do like the presidential debates and have the mute button? Have the director be able to mute one of them?
Yeah, you could have a ball with that. We got no host, just those two in the booth, and those two guys playing against those two guys.
And just mic the
One
guys up.
representing the
Mic the
other.
4 guys up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good.
Huh?
That'd be a good thing.
Jump ball. Go get it.
So, let's dive into the golf games right now. Who would you like in this match? Who do you like tomorrow night? Do you like Rory and Scottie?
I would mix it up. Again, we always talk about attention spans and matches, and so I do 6 holes of scramble, 6 holes of alternate shot, 6 holes of better ball. You can do worse ball.
A worse ball would be fantastic, but you want Bryson to bomb it. I'm thinking of other stuff. I just got another one. Here's another one.
What?
Okay, they do the carts?
Yeah.
You don't put the teams together. You put the opposite guys together. And let them go at it in the cart. And then you got Brandel, and you've got Mickelson up in the tower. This could be for one of the great, very uncomfortable matches you will ever watch from a standpoint of the announce team and of the players playing and their interaction between them in opposite carts together and talking about their different leagues and why theirs is better than the other.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be an extraordinary
You could see them battling
mix.
on the first tee, whether we're going to have music or not. That's the
or shorts.
the live.
What do you
Or
mean shorts? Yeah, what do you got shorts
in
on
Vegas
for?
in December at night? I don't know.
It depends how much they get paid. No, but those guys, the money's not.
It's gonna be interesting, and I think there's a whole bunch of golf been on lately that's
I'll watch this.
unwatchable.
I'll watch.
But
I'm
this
gonna watch
this I will tune in to
watch
see.
this.
I'm in for this
They
as well.
they could do this and really, you could make it Ryder Cup-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, really make it and show people what we kind of talked about before, that if you want Ryder Cup, if that is your criteria for watching golf and really getting involved, well, LIV against the PGA Tour is just as good. In fact, you got more animosity.
Yeah, you should, right?
Because these guys actually, one side doesn't like the other side.
And
really
these are 4 guys that really
represent
their
it. Yeah.
tours.
Yeah.
The LIV side has a 2-shot lead going into the matches on trash talking. I mean, Scottie Scheffler,
He's pretty benign, right?
I mean, he's such a good guy. I mean, I have a hard time believing he's going to trash talk. Rory, maybe a little bit, but he's still.
Rory's very political.
He's political. Now Brooks and Bryson, however, they could get under your skin.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested in how much they're going to bring Bryson in for the YouTube aspect. I mean, I would think this is going to get some great ratings compared to even regular golf.
I would. Okay, I'm going to venture. This is going to be the highest rated show since. Wow, did the PGA do anything?
British Open?
What was our last tournament? The last major was PGA.
British. No, the British.
Oh,
No, the
that's
British.
right. They shipped it.
Yeah.
I haven't been out there in a while.
That's it.
right,
That's
they
it. It's
shifted
okay.
it.
You're all right.
Okay, we can't measure that, so it'd be the major here. I'll bet you the numbers.
It's
It's
going to be it's going to be an unfair comparison because it's one event, for 4 hours or however long it's going to take at night, partially at night. So there's not going to be any competition. So it's going to be unfair, but I think they're going to get blockbuster ratings out of this.
I think they will. It's an interesting concept, not brought by any of the two tours.
Yeah.
It's brought by 4 guys going, hey, we can do this. If we have to do it, the 4 best players, arguably, 4 best players, we can do this. Watch, we're going to do this. We can do it independently. I'm going to tell the tour and LIV, hey, well, we have no control of these guys.
Yeah, when Nick came
tour
out, you
doesn't.
guys were both a little surprised, like, wow, did they get clearance by the tour? What by the PGA Tour to do this or not? We didn't hear any talk about that. We heard nothing from Monahan on it.
There's no conflicting events.
So you don't have to.
You don't have to. It's the thing that gets me is the fact that you could go sell this to a non-tour
Yeah.
Television rights
TNT,
fee
yeah.
participant.
You could sell it to UPS.
Yeah. that would be funny. That would be funny. Yeah, you just basically, let's take this thing and just do opposites. Opposite carts, opposite philosophies with Phil and Brando. UPS, you could just do everything differently.
Well,
totally.
One of the announcers is your buddy and member at Whisper Rock, Charles Barkley, from the TMT team.
Is he going to do it?
Yeah, he's normally always doing it, and I think they're arranging the basketball schedule around this thing. This is going to be a pretty big production, and we all know of Shadow Creek. That's
I'm still holding out.
Venue.
I'm holding out for Phil.
I
so.
absolutely love Charles to death, and I think he has a place
Yeah.
in this broadcast. But I don't think this is hit and giggle. I honestly think
No, this is not.
this is serious competition, and we need golfers who know golf
Yeah.
to do the announcing.
Yeah.
You know,
You need
that's why you
Brando
need
and you need Phil.
Yeah.
Really
Just
good.
that's it. There's no more argument. Let's do it.
Yep.
Quit screwing around.
We need to put out the message. We'll put some shorts out in the weeks before, but
Well, we'll produce it for them if they want.
be happy to. No problem.
It wouldn't take much.
Kostis and McCord off their rockers, producing the Showdown at
Yeah.
Shadow Creek.
Yeah.
If you guys take out your crystal ball, and if we think that this is an encouraging sign with LIV and the PGA Tour, what are you thinking for 2025? Are we going to finally get some kind of resolution? Maybe it's not the merger. Maybe it's just, Peter, you've been talking about some events together.
I think it'll take a back seat.
Yeah.
I think it'll take, because 2026 is when the tour starts the reduction process.
Yeah.
So all next year is going to be the filtering out
Yeah.
of these guys that are going to get pissed because they can't get into these $20 million tournaments now called, what are they called now? They were called
Signature events.
signature events. They were called
Elevated,
elevated event.
designated.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever it was. Anyway, there's going to be a vast cavern between the haves and the have-nots, okay, of getting in, and the conciseness of the tour now. Because the tour's always been about trying to get your players the most money they can possibly make.
Right.
That's the idea of the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's gone the other way, where a few are going to make some, and we're going to keep the rest out because it's really hard.
They've gone anti-Gary
to
McCord.
get in.
on
They've
this.
gone the opposite direction that the All Exempt Tour did. And believe me, I saw it from that side. I saw it from the other side. And this, all we're doing is recreating the same thing again. And there's going to be a lot of huffing and puffing about unions and organizing the other players to have a vote, because they don't have a vote because look at who you got on the board. Two of them weren't even elected; they were appointed, and they're all top players, and they're going to hang out, and the top players voting for what top players vote for, right? So
2025, I don't see anything happening. I think we can agree golf is fractured right now.
Sure.
I think it's going to be even more fractured in 2025. I think we're going to have the LIV PGA Tour fracture. You're going to have the fractures within the PGA Tour. The haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
The have-nots will probably trying to unionize in some fashion or form. So the tour has its own issues to deal with itself, plus potential negotiations. The best we can hope for in 2025 is there's a LIV PGA Tour resolution effective 26 or 27. But next year is going to be more of the same. There's going to be more animosity, more fracture. LIV has come up with their schedule. I don't see them changing it. PGA Tour has come up with their schedule. I don't see them changing it. I don't think they can now that they're going from 125 to 100. So 25 is going to be a year of turmoil, in my opinion.
One of the things that's in turmoil that's come up recently is NBC Comcast is breaking off Golf Channel along with MSNBC, CNBC, and some other, and they're separated. They're going to start a new company, Spinco, I think they're calling it. What do you guys anticipate is going to happen with Golf Channel? It's been with us since '95. Do you think the tour is going to buy it?
Sure.
I know you've been advocating for LIV to buy it at one point. One of you guys said.
Well, LIV has got to get, first of all, they got to get a network to put on, and then, the problem with LIV, and it's not a problem, it's just, it coexists with what they're doing. It is a world tour. They're going all over the world doing this. Well, you can't really do television here in the United States with the tournaments in Dubai, and then it's in Hong Kong, because the time difference. And we've been doing that for a long time now. The age of computers, you can find out who won and who didn't.
Right.
It's everywhere. So that question of getting someone to broadcast that tour and have it relevant in the United States is just about impossible. It really is. It's going to be on YouTube and everything else as they do it. So they're having a problem identifying their product with the network, and that's how you identify your product, basically, is with television. So I don't see a clear-cut form that you can produce where you can make that thing relevant to golfers in the United States. I really don't.
Big challenge.
Now, do you want to? I don't know. They did. I used to watch Shell's Wonderful World of Golf because they'd go all over the world in these great spots, and I get to watch it. It was a travel-on, basically.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but that was taped,
cool.
and
was taped,
you could see it on Saturday afternoons.
Yeah, and you didn't have computers then, so you didn't know who won anything.
Right.
So that's a viable problem with LIV Golf. And their television now is interesting. Well, they don't have any sponsors, so you don't complain about too many advertisers and commercials and everything else.
Yeah.
And it's again, we've touched on this 100 times. And for a perfect world, LIV buys the DP Tour.
Yeah.
And now that tour's a world tour. You go there. Now they got their tour. They get world ranking points. Our tour over here, and now you play each other. Once in a while, you play majors. You play in tournaments.
Seems simple.
And it seems real simple. Obviously, it's not that simple. I know I've talked to two of the boys at LIV that are boys, and they said that's what's going to happen. I haven't seen it yet or heard any rumors of it yet, but I don't know. Well, I don't know what I'm missing. I'm an idiot, but I don't know why they just wouldn't start plucking those. They got 14 events already. Take another 14. You got a 28 tournament schedule. Now you've got world ranking points. But do these guys want to play? I know when I talked to the one guy on LIV that he did not want to play 14 events over there, and then the majors, and then come over and play in the FedEx, and then play if there was another tour. Well, these guys, they didn't want to play that much.
Too much golf.
Because once you make that much money playing 14 events, I wouldn't either.
Maybe spoil you a little bit.
I'd go around, play golf with my boys, and have some fun. So I agree with Peter. I don't think much is going to happen. I think the attention's going to be built within our tour. First of all, who's running it? Okay, who's the commissioner? Who's running it? Who's making the decisions? I don't. Do you know any of the independent directors? They all quit.
Right now,
10 years are gone, so they're not there.
G guys, yeah.
Right now, you got the inmates running the asylum,
Yeah.
and the players are taking over, and I see nothing good happening from that. I really don't.
Their decision-making process is going to be interesting because, again, you got players, and who makes their decisions? Their agents.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to the old days where Mark McCormick was running the tour because he was Arnold's agent. And who knows? It looks like it's all going back to where it was when we busted up in 1968.
Well, we've got a little gift, December 17th, an early Christmas or holiday present for us is the Showdown at Shadow Creek. Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau, Scottie Scheffler, and Rory McIlroy. Yes.
And the announcers?
Yes, should be Brandel Chambly and Phil Mickelson.
And
we will find out. And
the carts are not occupied by teammates. They're the opposite.
They switch. So
with
they
a
can
camera
maybe
right
get in
there and microphones, and let's get
fisticuffs.
this riot going.
Let's get this riot going. So who do you think's going to win the Showdown at Shadow Creek? Scottie and Rory, or will it be Bryson and Brooksy? Put them in the comments below. Your choice. We'll pick a winner and we'll announce it on the next episode of Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers. don't go away, because we've got another great Coach Kostis segment to help your game from Peter. And we're going to be back in a couple weeks with another Kostis McCord. We're going to talk about the TGL, Tigers League, seeing if that's going to have any positive effect on ratings for golfers watching golf on Monday nights. Kostis McCord, Off Their Rockers, a golf production. We'll be right back.
If you love Kostis and McCord's Off Their Rockers, you're going to love one of the best deals you can find in golf. An Inside Golf membership from the team at golf.com. When you sign up today, you'll get instant access to a free year of Golf Magazine, a $20 gift card to Fairway Jockey, 1 dozen Strixon Z-Star XV golf balls. They're great. I'm playing them now. They're really good. And many, many more discounts on Golf Logics, True Spec, and Fairway Jockey products that will take your game to the next level. As an Inside Golf member, you'll have exclusive access to one-of-a-kind golf experiences like the one Gary, Peter, and I attended right before the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. Participants got to meet Peter, Gary, hang out, have dinner, have a drink, and a very special fireside chat at Donald Ross's historic cottage. If you want in on all these incredible offers and special access, sign up for Inside Golf today for the low, low price of just $39.99. Visit golf.com/subscription or click that link below for more information. Visit our website, KostisMcCord.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or podcast, and follow us on social media at Kostis McCord Off Their Rockers.
Hello, friends. It's Jim Nance of CBS Sports, and I urge you to like and subscribe my brothers, Kostis and McCord, Off Their Rockers right now. You'll enjoy it.
Now it's time for Coach Kostis. Peter gives us some great tips to help our games.
If you want to improve your short game, there's a couple different ways you can practice. The most conventional way, and what you really should do first, is called block practice. That's just repetitive hitting shots from the same place, trying to establish good contact, good distance control. So I take my club, I set up, and I just practice one after the other from the same place, reasonably good lie. And now I have my technique organized. But just organizing my technique is not necessarily going to make me score better on the golf course. So I've got a drill to improve your scrambling. It's called the 12-ball drill. What I'm going to do is I'll take 12 balls, I'll scatter them around the green, and I'm going to go one at a time. I'm going to put the ball down here. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get those other 2 balls out of there because they wouldn't be there on the golf course. So I'm just going to whack them away. So now I have a real-life golf course situation. I'm going to set up, go through my routine. When I feel comfortable, I'm going to go ahead and hit the shot. Now that was pretty good. And if you're playing with decent enough people, they're probably going to give it to you. But I don't want you to take it. I want you to go up and I want you to tap it in. I'm going to take my glove off because I don't putt with my glove, put my club down, grab my putter, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to finish the job. Because too many times I see players hit great chip shots or pitch shots to 2, 3, 5 feet from the hole in difficult situations and then lose their concentration, lose their focus on the putt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up and tap this in. Now, after I do that, glove goes back on, putter goes back down. I'm going to pick a different shot. Doesn't make any difference how you do it. I'm going to go over here. Now, I got to read this. I got to try and decide. And you can't give yourself a preferred lie. You got to use the lie that you just got when you tossed it down. So here I go. Practice stroke. That's the one I wanted. If your technique is as good as that, it's going to make the putting pretty simple. But do it. I want you to try and get, I mean, obviously the goal would be to get 12 times 2, 24 points, but that's really difficult to do. If you can get 30 points out of the 12 ball up and downs, you're going to get probably 3 to 5 strokes off your scores. Trust me. Try to get around the 12 in 30 strokes or less. You'll be better.
Remember, this and dozens of other Peter Kostis great tips are available in all of our episodes right on the YouTube channel.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back with another episode in 2 weeks on Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers.